Hello everyone, it is Misterstubstep and it is finally time. We will be doing a value discussion on the X and Y set, Evolutions. Part of the 20th anniversary, sorta kinda with Generations, but this came out in the winter-fall time. Came out November 1st, 2016. Base card total of 108, with only 5 secret rares, and these secret rares are kind of, they're different. They're different secret rares. Definitely not that hard to pull. You find them in the uncommon slot. And with a set total of 113, a very small set, but let's just say this set is highly collectible, and if you're not aware of this set, you either just got into the game or maybe you happen to be living under a graveler or something. So before I get into this, like always, I'll have the timestamps down below if you just want to get right into the graded card discussion. That's completely fine, because I always talk about the spreadsheet as a whole in the beginning. Or if you just want to go straight down to this Google Sheet itself, I have it linked down below. You can see all the other sets that I've done, which is all the X and Y sets, all the Sun and Moon sets, and then the Sword and Shield sets up to Darkness Ablaze, as well as a playlist that contains all these kind of in-depth value discussion videos on all the sets that I've just talked about, but like that playlist on YouTube. So we'll start out with some administrative information, which you've already gone through. There's also some color coordination there. This spreadsheet is as of 30 April, so the end of April. It's a Friday. Friday night, doing a value discussion. Gotta love it. I just know my weekend's going to be kind of busy, so I just want to knock this video out while I have some time. So the left column is the card. Very self-explanatory. If it's italicized, that means I have the card. And in case you didn't notice, this isn't like I'm trying to flex or anything. This is how it is. If it's italicized, I have the card. I have a master set of this set. And this is the first set that I ever collected a master set of. Unfortunately, 2 of the cards, of course, the big ones within the set, the Charizard Holo and the Reverse Charizard Holo, are both still at PSA from last August. So I might be showing like some online photos or maybe like some janky photos that I have from when I submitted them. But yeah, overall, all the photos you should be seeing should just be the cards from my actual collection. So I guess no copyright or whatever, pulling them offline, whatever that entails. And then if it's in red, I'll be talking about it today. There's a lot of cards within this set. It almost gives me like Sun and Moon level of valuable card vibes again. And I really haven't experienced this at all in X and Y until Evolutions. Rarity, self-explanatory. Break cards are rare breaks. I've made the mistake in a few of the past videos just calling them ultra rares, but they're clearly not. Come in the reverse slot, and they're very different looking cards. Raw on TCG Player is the price on TCG Player, the market price value, rounded down to the nearest dollar. Grade, I try to find PSA 10s. Even though it is shut down right now, it is still the most common, grading company that Pokemon card buyers and sellers use. So I try to find PSA 10. If I couldn't find PSA 10, I went away from that. But you'll see with Evolutions, it being one of the number 1 submitted cards, or number 1 submitted sets in Pokemon. Yeah, it's a base set reprint, let's be real. Sold price is the last sold price on eBay rounded up to the nearest dollar, not including shipping. Date of sale is when it was sold. We did recently have a PWCC auction ending, so some of those cards will be from that auction. If you notice some dates that are all the same, you're like, why are all these dates the same? That seems kind of fishy. Once again, this spreadsheet kind of just provides that snapshot for you, and if something interests you or you have that card or whatever, you can do a deeper dive and truly find the averages and truly find where those cards are at in a moment in time. PSA 10 population. The number on the left is the number of 10s, and the number on the right is the current number with PSA. In this set, I'm sure you guys have maybe heard rumors about the printing quality and all this stuff. You will see some truly horrendous ratios in here, and then you'll see some normal X and Y average ratios within here. So yeah, very interesting, and I've always heard about this, but it's really nice to finally see all the numbers laid out. And if you see any parentheses with an R, that means I'm referring to the reverse holo. So whatever's directly to the left of that R, it's the reverse holo information. All right, so we're starting off with Big Bad Mewtwo. Unfortunately, did not come with the holo. I know in Japanese, CP6 had the holo, and then you can get the Cracked Ice holo, and there's the pre-release card as well. But in the main set, you pull from packs. Just a regular rare, but the reverse of it sold for $265. So out of all the videos that I've done, which I've probably done, over 30, maybe 40 of these now, this is the first time we've started out with green in the first card. That's pretty crazy. 43 out of 174. Honestly, for X and Y, that's about a normal a normal ratio for PSA 10 to the rest of the population. And you guys will notice that the reverses are way easier to grade than a lot of the holos within this set, which I find interesting because the reverse has a lot more opportunities for scratching, but I guess just the way the holos are printed, like just so many print lines. All right, next is the Magneton, just the holo rare, sold for $950. Now, you guys probably see that, like, Magneton, one of the weaker holo rares from base set. You'd assume it'd be one of the weaker ones from Evolutions too, which I agree. It's, nothing spectacular, but there's only one PSA 10. And I think I saw a couple listings on eBay, and one did sell for $950, but according to PSA, as of this date, there's only one. So I don't know what those other listings were. Maybe it was the same person, relisting it over and over again. But $950, I'm not surprised. There's only one in existence, and people that are wanting those master set or, holo PSA 10 of all the holos and higher in this set, or just the holos or whatever, it makes sense. Yeah, so moving down, we have the Clefairy in the reverse in a PSA 10, sold for $200, which is not shabby. Like, you can potentially get a reverse in every pack, and $200, 19 out of 37. So not a lot of reverses have been submitted, but there's been a decent amount of the regular holo submitted, which I have just to the right of the R. If you can just take a look in that individual cell. And there's only one PSA 10 of that as well. Only one. So no wonder I didn't find a regular sale. You'll notice there's some like doubled up. If I found a PSA 10 in the regular holo and the reverse, like, I'll include them for y'all because I think that's interesting information. But yeah, and also, I should have said this at the very beginning. A lot of you probably have Evolutions cards. It's the #1 printed set of all time in Pokemon, at least as I'm aware. I'm telling you, I have the master set of this. I have a ton of duplicates of a lot of the holos. I would bet all of my money, or a good chunk of my money, that 99.9% chance that none of my cards would get a PSA 10. That's how hard this set is to grade. Like, WotC era stuff, like, it's hard, but this Evolutions, it is like, the printing quality was just piss poor, and there were so many print runs and so many different, it was, yeah. Hitmonchan, holo rare, reverse, $200. 11 out of 34 for the reverse, so not too much. Once again, another holo with only one registered PSA 10. This is only PSA 10, not including CGC or Beckett. There was a lot of CGC listings. I didn't see any CGC 10s of Evolutions, I'm going to be honest. If there was a CGC 10, like, that thing would probably be, like, equivalent to, like, a Beckett Black Label or something. I don't know. Didn't see any Black Label Evolutions either. But yeah, only 1 out of 130. Honestly, those holos, if you think you have a good-looking one, no print lines, good centering, no chipping or whatever, who knows? The Chansey. This is the, like, infamous Chansey. Like, even within base set, Chansey is really hard to get going. 255 in reverse. Very fair, very fair. 19 out of 43 for the reverse population. Okay. 0 out of 180. 180 cards have been submitted, holos. None of them have come back at 10. None. Is that hopeless or what? And a lot of the holos within the set I actually think are pretty good looking. And Chansey's one that I think is decent. Machamp. Another one that I actually like within this set. The reverse sold for $165, so not as expensive as some of the previous ones that we've been talking about. There's only 3 of the regular holos out of 149, and then 22 out of 49 for the reverse. But only 3 regular holos, so look at that, a whole 3. Almost a playset of PSA 10s, look at that. The Nidoking, I couldn't even find a 10 in the recent sales, and I'm not surprised because there's only 5 out of 164. The 9 sold for 44. For a lot of these holos, if it's like a really, really, like, bad condition. Actually, honestly, the only ones that sold for, like, decent money in a 9 were maybe, like, the Mew and the Charizard. Everything else in a 9, it did not sell for over 100. So it's basically 10 or bust within this set, and the 10 is, like, an impossibility. And the reason why that is because there are so many of these cards out there. Like, so many. Going to the Dragonite EX. I personally really like this. They release those Kanto Power Collection boxes, so a lot more of these enter the market as well as the Slowbros. But $140, 173 out of 351 for population. Honestly, that's fair. Almost 50%. That's not bad. Flying Pikachu. The secret rare, $180 PSA 10. This is a reprint from it's a WotC promo. 139 out of 349. Honestly, it's not a good ratio, but compared to the rest of this, it's way better, and then compared to the rest of X and Y, it's decent. The Ninetales Holo Rare, one of my favorite cards. It's just beautiful, even in base set 2. Like, it's just a really beautiful card. PSA 10, $700. This kind of blew me away, but there's only 7 PSA 10s out of 150. Another really hard grade. We have the Surfing Pikachu, another promo, $185. Very respectable. 98 out of 316. A little bit harder to grade, but once again, really easy card to pull. A lot of them out there. People probably have lost a bunch of these just in their bulk alone. We have the Zapdos Holo Rare, PSA 10, $400. There's actually 33 of these. $400, 33 out of 269. Fair. Zapdos Reverse, $200. 41 out of 102. A lot easier to grade that reverse, I guess. The Gyarados Holo Rare, PSA 10, $525. Shoot. Remember, these are holo rares. These aren't that hard to pull. And I think that's what makes Evolution so great, is you can pull something in the uncommon slot, the reverse slot, the rare slot, like, and then, I mean, 2 chances for Charizard in the reverse and the holo. Like, it's a lot. Reverse, $225, and then 37 out of 126 for that Gyarados, the Raichu. So this one was kind of interesting. I took note, but I didn't include this in any of my averages or any of my conclusions, but the holo rare, it was listed for 1,291, and there's only 3 PSA 10s, so I'm like, I'd expect this to be a little bit higher, maybe a little bit up closer to 1,000, definitely over 500, but I couldn't find the actual sold listing, like the actual sale price for this, so I just kind of left it. I didn't include it in anything, but I just put that info out there. There's only 3 of them, so yeah. And the Raichu from base set, I do really like that card too. The reverse sold for $350. We have the Pidgeot EX Full Art. This is definitely an unpopular opinion, but this Pidgeot EX Full Art is my favorite card in the set. It's just very beautiful. I pulled it in my first booster box of opening this. Speaking of which, actually, I'll talk about it when I get to the booster box. $97 in a PSA 10. Not bad. We have the Muse. Probably, besides the Charizard, the most expensive cards within this set. And I think when this set first came out, like, this Mew was just kind of, pushed to the side, like, oh, Mew, whatever, like, cool. It's different. It's not from base set. Like, I think it's like a Japanese promo or something. I can't remember off the top of my head. If you remember, you can correct me. But this is a beautiful card. Definitely close to, I think it slightly beats out Ninetales for my favorite holo within this set. 1,200 in a PSA 10. And there's 36 of them. So, once again, a very low number, but comparatively, there's 36. Like, there's a decent amount. And then in the reverse, $700 in the reverse. Once again, based off these numbers, reverses seem to be way easier to grade. And there's 85 of them at a 230. We have the Brock's Grit Full Art. Really wanted this to do well, but it was just compared to the rest of these cards, it's kind of put into the same category as all the other regular ultra rares. $160 in a PSA 10, not too difficult to grade. Mega Blastoise EX reprint from XY base set, $204 in a PSA 10, not super hard to grade either. Once again, this is all comparative. Like, these are like, either less than 50% or slightly over, so they're not great ratios, but they're definitely better than having 1 or 3 PSA 10s. Charizard EX, another reprint, PSA 10, $185. Misty's Determination Full Art. This one kind of threw me off. I was expecting this one to go for higher, maybe like over 200, but the most recent sale that I found was $70. So, I mean, there's 393 PSA 10s, so not super difficult to grade. I don't know. If you know any more information about this one, let me know. But, I mean, it's Misty. I thought it would do better, but I guess not. I guess Misty's favor, that's what people truly want. Dragonite EX Full Art. Beautiful full art. This is my favorite full art within the set. $231 in a 10. Been a ton of these graded. Honestly, all the full arts within the set have been graded so much. 710 10s. That's a lot of 10s. Mega Blastoise EX Full Art, $168. 988 10s. Mega Venusaur EX Full Art, $149. The lowest out of the full arts, which, well, for the Pokemon, maybe for the Pokemon. 737 10s. The Mewtwo EX Full Art. This is a really nice card, too. I put it very close to the Dragonite Full Art in my favorite, but it's a really good-looking card. $203, 551 10s. Actually, the smallest amount of 10s for these bottom cards. Mega Charizard EX, another reprint from XY base, or from Flashfire, correction. $153. 1,487 10s. People love grading them Charizards, and I'm not going to lie, I sent one of these in, too, that I thought was a 10. Mega Charizard EX Full Art, $300, 3,329. So this was a good point that my LGS owner brought up. He's like, "Are you sure you want to send in that Mega Charizard EX? It's like the most populated PSA 10 card. It still sells for $300, and it's like one of the most populated PSA 10 cards for Pokemon. It's kind of ridiculous." Charizard Holo Rare. So yeah, I'll show some type of photo or maybe just an online photo, but you've seen this. It's been reprinted a couple times, or a few times. $3,350 for the PSA 10. This is a considerable drop from where it used to be. I think it used to be, what, around 6, maybe 8,000 at like the peak or something? Definitely 6. And now it's down to 3,350, which is still massive. I mean, this card, there's so many out there. I mean, look, there's been 10,929 graded, but look at that ratio. 224. What is that? Is that 2%? Maybe less than 2%? That is... So statistically speaking, I mean, obviously that doesn't take into account, people just sending in their cards just to get them graded, not like shooting for a 10, but if you were to send in 100 of these, you might get 2. But then there's people like Darium's Pokemon who did send in like almost 100 of these and got like no 10. So yeah, very tough. And then the Charizard Reverse Holo, $750, 802 10s out of 5,280. So yeah, very grade heavy set. This is, a collector's dream set. I mean, they updated, some HPs and attacks, but ultimately not many of these cards did too hot, at least in the game. So it was mainly a collector's dream. That's what it was. You can get all your favorite base set cards in the Reverse Holo. And this Reverse Holo pattern is just like a blanket, just making everything else hollow. Well, it's a Reverse Holo besides the regular picture. And it just looks clean. It looks really clean on base set cards, in my opinion. So, sorry this one's been a little long-winded, but, I mean, I think it's warranted with how much depth there is to the set. I mean, I didn't even include a lot of the commons that in 10s, like Pikachu, Bulbasaur. Actually, Bulbasaur is not even in this freaking set. I'm stupid. But like Pikachu and some other ones. I just didn't include them because their raw card isn't over $1, and I only do cards that are over $1. So, looking into some averages. So, you can look at this. The Holo Rare average, $596. That is just... I scoff at that. Are you kidding me? But all the other averages, they're not really too special. But then you look at the number of cards over $1, which is 42, and I think that this set smashes Flashfire out of the water. Like, Flashfire, sure, it has some really cool secret rare Charizards and all that stuff, but I think Evolutions just smashes that out of the water. I truly do. And then, a Master Set recently sold for $600 at the time of filming this yesterday. Elite Trainer Box, $215. I was actually expecting this to go for a little bit more, but I know there was like reprints or whatever of this box, but I mean, the Charizard and the Blastoise, at least trainer boxes, are pretty cool. Booster pack, $14. I feel like they used to be, around $24, $25, so they definitely dropped a little bit, which is honestly kind of refreshing. And then the booster box itself used to be, chilling over $1,000, $1,100. It's at $950, recently sold. So I think, stuff is correcting a little bit, but this set is just so strong, so much potential. Like, the reverses, the uncommons, the holos, like there's just even the commons, the Pikachus. It's really something else. And every now and then, at least last year when I picked up collecting it, I mean, this was the set in 2017 that brought me back to collecting, because I recognized like some of the cards. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a reprint. And then of course I got into it again. And then I stayed in through Shining Legends, then got back out, and then I got back in with Sword and Shield base set. And these packs are still some of the most fun I've ever had. Like Hidden Fate, Shining Fate's really fun, but Evolutions are just something amazing about opening it. It's awesome. So yeah, I'll do some collectability tiers, and then I'll wrap this video up. So in the low tier, I have all the full arts for collectability. I mean, I think the full arts will do all right within this set. They're fairly unique, so I like them all. The starter EXs, so, the Blastoise and Charizard EXs, a lot of them are reprints. Actually, I think all of them except for the Charizard. Actually, no, the Charizard is too. They're all reprints, either from XY base set or Flashfire. And then the Flying and Surfing Pikachu, I think they're low collectability tier. They're some of my favorite cards, and I really like them as the WotC promos too. Which I only have like 5 WotC promos, and those are 2 that I have. In the mid tier, I have all the holos, especially in PSA 10. I mean, you could argue that they're top tier, but the holos in PSA 10, you could say all the holos from this set. And then for the top tier, I have the Charizard. It's holo and reverse holo, as well as the Mew holo and reverse holo. I think those are the 2 biggest hitters within this set. It's It's truly an amazing set. Once again, overprinted, at one time extremely hated, then at one point overhyped, and then now it's just, yeah, I think it's just a set that a lot of people are fighting for. I'm happy that I got my master set of it. I definitely think it was worth the time and effort finding, you know, the cards and all that stuff, and it was just very satisfying. I can't wait for the Charizards to come back from grading. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video. Sorry it was a little bit longer, you know, almost Sun and Moon level length, but there's a lot of information to put out in this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, links to everything down below. If this is your second video of mine, consider subscribing. If you like what you saw, leave a like. If you don't like what you saw, give me a dislike or give me some feedback down below on how I can improve these videos for the future. But that's pretty much all I have. I don't know what order I'm releasing these videos out for this week, because I know I'm going to have an opening, and then, well, actually, my next value discussion will actually be some promos. And you might not expect these promos, but it'll be a nice break after Evolutions. But yeah, thanks again so much for watching, and I wish you guys the best of luck on your collecting adventures.